So, like, talk about what is your number one challenge today in your growth of your, I'm going to call it conglomerate that you're building.
My biggest challenge? Ass.
You are now tuned into Native Collect. Native Collective.
Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Ing in LA, where we love talking about doing everything in and around the city of Los Angeles. Today's episode is well-being in LA. Make sure you're following us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts at Native Collective and on all socials at The Native LA. Today, we are joined by a provider of perspective, support, and safe spaces for cool-ass Black women, such as myself, creator of cool-ass Black women, Miss Ashley Glaspie. How are you?
First of all, that was so amazing. I love that. That was a great intro. You can go on my mixtape. No.
Cheers for hire. That's fine.
Right.
Okay. I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate being here.
It's so wonderful to have you.
Sitting across from a cool-ass Black woman and a cool-ass Black man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll take it.
Now, Miss Ashley, are you a native to LA or are you a transplant?
I am a native. I am from Inglewood, California.
Hold on a second. There are a lot of Inglewood people going on around here.
Listen.
I can't help it.
I'm going to start saying I'm from Inglewood now, too.
You can't.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's fine. We're moving on here.
And academically, like, where did you grow up? What school did you go to?
So I went to Ben&Q as my elementary school.
Okay.
So you know what I'm talking about? Then I went to Override, and then I went to Westchester High School.
Okay, that's
Then
what's up.
I moved over and got my bachelor's degree from Dominguez Hills.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a real...
True LA native. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how did you get connected to our little old podcast over here?
Well, a friend of mine, her name is Ashley.
Okay.
I've known her for a while.
Yeah.
When I started my brand, Cool Ass Black Woman, she just magically appeared. And I was like, oh, you're a grace to God, you know? And ever since we've been connected, and here we are. And now I'm here with you.
That's what's up. I love it. Inglewood in the house, for real.
Yes, seriously.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, who are you? Where have you been? Where are you going?
Look, well, obviously, yes, I'm from Inglewood, California. I am in production. I have my own production company called Ashley Glaspie Productions. That's what I've started back 10 years ago. Okay. Along with, up under that umbrella is a Cool Ass Black Woman. I have been to multiple places, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta. I just recently got my master's at Clark Atlanta University.
Wow.
Thank you.
Educated ass Black woman.
Yeah, you better say that a little louder.
I'm gonna go stand over there because I can't handle that.
So I just received my MBA in business administration, marketing, concentration in marketing. So I've cultivated my whole, I want to say my existence around giving back the well-being of Black women, of people, and figuring out ways to implement that into just my everyday life and our culture. So one of the... who I am is somebody that inspires, that influences, that motivates. I lead people in places where some may feel lost. And sometimes people lead me, and I'm one to be the follower. So that's who I am.
That's wonderful. I love that.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit, before we get into Cool Ass Black Woman, what it is, what it's about, we're going to take a small little break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Win Sardin, and I'm excited to be a part of Native Collective Digital Membership Waitlist, where I'm tapping into a range of resources and connecting with professionals. This platform is proven beneficial in helping me stay organized and maintain a proactive approach as I continue to make a leading impact in the community.
Hey there, it's your girl E. If you're anything like me, you're probably tired of searching for one place that truly identifies the cultural diversity in the melting pot that is Los Angeles. Well, I've got some really good news for you. I'd like to introduce you to Native Collective, the hottest, most exclusive private membership club that's about to change the game.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy AP here, man, Alex Porter. And in the midst of using my gifts, I am now collabing with and partnering up with Native. That is right. I just signed up for Native's digital membership waiting list, and what Native is, or what they do, is they put you around others that is like-minded in your industry or in your lane. I just signed up and got on their waiting list, man. This drop is about to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, big things is happening in 2024. Native is the place to be. You need to get there ASAP. Big things happening. Once again, native.com. Go sign up now, get on the waiting list. And look, see, I just left SoFi Stadium because I just came from a celebrity basketball game playing right now, because that's what Native do. They put you around the people that is like-minded in your industry and what you do. So I don't brag or push things that I'm not a part of. So go sign up now, get it cracking. Let's make it happen. All right, let's get it. Go Native.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Shamley. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I just signed up for Native's collective digital membership waitlist. I am a real estate agent and entrepreneur, and I'm going to use Native's resources to meet other like-minded professionals, clients, and investors. It's something I'm truly excited about, because not only is Ashley a friend of mine, but someone I respect heavily in her field, and if she tells me that I need to meet someone, whether it's in person, via Zoom, or talk to them, I can trust that it's not only worth my time, but it'll be a mutually beneficial relationship. So I encourage anyone who's thinking about it to also do the same.
So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Cool Ass Black Women, and what would you say is its mission?
So the mission is to create safe spaces for Black people as a whole. It's originally started off with just women, but within the last 5 years, I expanded it. So Cool Ass Black Woman was inspired by me living in New York, and New Jersey, and moving back to Los Angeles, like at a drop of a dime. Okay. And I realized once I was there that I had a community of Black women that were change agents, lawyers, like business owners, people that worked at the LA Times. And I'm like, wow, like I didn't really realize what I had until I was gone, that cliche. Yeah. And then I got back to California, and even though I'm from here, you would think that you're going into, go and hang out with your friends. You don't relate anymore. Right. So now at that point, I was searching for my own network and community of Black women that inspired me. So that's actually what inspired Cool Ass Black Women. Wow. Was me trying to figure out my community. And then I started, I produced my first interstitial for Cool Ass Black Women in New York with the women that inspired me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so great.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really am. Like I can honestly say that people tell me all the time that I get a lot of text messages that say, hey, I saw somebody walking down the street with your shirt on, and I'm just like, you have no idea how much that means to me, because those are the inspiring moments that make me keep going. Like just, you believe it, I believe it, you see it.
Yeah, that support fuels the brand for sure.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, was there a pivotal moment for you when you kind of really knew, like, I've got something huge here?
Yes. Yes, and it was actually during the pandemic, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I was called by a friend asking me if I wanted to do a Mountain Dew commercial.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted Cool Ass Black Women, and I was like, what? This is the first, the first any, exposure. Like, of course, social media does its thing, but I had to grow my own fan base, my following, because of the word ass.
Right.
So everything that you see, everything that I've grinded for, you see it because I had to do it all organically. Yeah. So my moment, the moment when they asked me to do my my opening, and I'm thinking, okay, if everybody is doing an opening, my little opening wouldn't mean anything. Just so happened during the pandemic, people influenced me, asked me to do a podcast. For a long time, I had a problem with my voice.
Oh. You just didn't like the sound of it? Or?
You sound like me. Yeah. You sound just like me. But throughout the years of living in New York and working in production, people have told me, you know what, you actually have a voiceover voice. So then I'm trying to, embrace that. So during the pandemic, it's either sink or swim. So you gotta figure out what you gotta do. So I became a podcaster myself during the pandemic. And once they asked me to recite my name and everything about Cool Ass Black Woman, I was the first person to open up on the Mountain Dew commercial. And there were 5 other Black business owners that was there, and I was just taken aback, and I was like, okay, and you're running it during the BET Awards, and you're running it on YouTube, and you know what I'm saying, and it's on the Shade Room, so it's like, wow, like, dang, I okay, so what's going on?
So you really doing the do? Okay,
sure. Sure. But that's when I really realized, like, okay, I have something.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. Right. That's why I can sit and say, okay, well, Cool Ass Black Woman is for the people because I am the brand and I am inspiring and I'm cultivating these spaces. But for Cool Ass Black Women and Cool Ass Black Men, they know that they identify and that's who they are.
Absolutely. Wow.
That's
so crazy.
It's so empowering. And it's empowering to so many different levels, different people. It really resonates with a lot of us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't take it away from God because even me, I had to. At one point, I sat and I said, like, God, what do you have for me? Like, I'm back here in California. I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm from here, you think you have that same motion when you come back. You don't.
Right.
So it was like, God, like, give me something. And instantly, it was like, Cool Ass Black Woman. I was like, no. Literally, no.
Like, nope, not doing it.
You told God no.
You're like,
what? I did. And then
like, whoa. I'm going to go sit over here.
But that lasted all of 3 minutes.
Right.
Right? And he was like, no. Because I said, no, that's too controversial. Think about it. And it's like, it's going to be too hard to change the minds of people and the word as. And I asked a couple people, I asked my mom, and she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah. Cool Ass Black Woman it is.
As long as mom approves. It's
right.
fine.
Yeah. And my grandma is, in the older generation, and, she grew up in Mississippi and traveled. And so, using the word ass is really not something that they usually...
It's not as colloquial as it is like now.
Right.
Sure.
And she just adapted to it, and she saw like what it did for her and how it changes the perspective of people looking at her.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
How would you say that Cool Ass Black Woman helps facilitate vulnerability?
I make people do the butterfly. No, I'm joking.
I'm not doing it.
I'm
not doing it.
How do we help facilitate vulnerability?
Yeah, within the Cool Ass Black woman and man community.
Well, I can tell you what I am doing now.
Yes.
Up under the Cool Ass Black Woman umbrella, I have a program for young girls called the I Am Her program.
Okay.
And I am facilitating leadership, well-being, and self-love in that program at Garvey Allen Middle School in Moreno Valley.
That is so important.
Thank you.
That is so important.
Yes, it is very important for me to help young girls realize that it's not about just the boys. It's not about what you see on the internet. It's about being a friend, understanding, finding out what motivates you, all of those different things, doing well in school, getting to college, understanding that there's so many different businesses and occupations out there that they can explore into. So that right now, literally right now, is what I'm doing to help facilitate a safe space for our community, because if the kids are our next leaders.
Absolutely. You're helping open up a lot of doors that were previously closed to that community, for sure.
Yes.
And starting at an early age is definitely kind of, oh my God, it's so important.
Yeah.
I see these kids out here acting crazy these days.
It's the craziest things.
Yeah.
It's the craziest things. And it's kind of scary to me, I would say, because I'm watching young kids have the same problem as adults.
Yeah.
And I know how adults respond. And if the child is responding the same way, we have to change that now, because you're at an impressionable stage. It is a point right now to where it's like, hey, like, if you have a problem with your friend, talk it out. It's not everybody else's business. Talk to your friend. It is very important for them to understand what self-love is, self-care, affirmations, all of those different things. So it's just trying to figure out ways to help frame the mind of a kid and not a young adult, because they're not there yet.
Right. That's what's up, man. I'm getting so inspired.
I just gotta ask you, like,
I'm not doing enough.
No,
with my
you
life
are.
now.
You are.
and that's what I was gonna ask. Like, where do you get all this energy from? I mean, you talk about all the different things you're doing. I mean, your energy is off the charts. Like,
Absolutely.
what do you? Is it your diet? Is it like you walking? Like, what is it?
Just because I walked in drinking the pressed juice means nothing. It means nothing. I just grew up. Honestly, I grew up in a very different dynamic than others would have. As a young adult, when I was younger, my life was challenging. Mm-hmm. I dealt with stepmothers. I've dealt with people talking down to me. I've dealt with all the different things a child shouldn't have to deal with. Right? So I decided within myself, like, okay, how can I change my perspective on life? And the only way for me to change it is with this energy. You gotta be vibrant. You gotta wanna be able to not see color, not judge people. You have to wanna be able to be open, perspective, positivity, being present. Like, there's so many different things that, I could lie and say, but all these things are true. And I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I work out. Like, I go to hot yoga. That helps a lot. Yeah. Like, I'm an Aries, so I could be a Tasmanian devil sometimes. So I am human, right? Yeah. Like, I'm human. I just really believe in the people. Yeah. To be honest with you, like, even with, there was a time when Ashley and I were like really working together as far as business, and I called her and I told her about my festival that I created, and I saw the festival on a TV show, right? But it was somebody else producing it, right? So that moment for me was like, okay, you are just as human as everybody else. Yeah, you move forward. And you be okay, because guess what? You're inspiring, you're doing, you're helping, and that, to me, that gives me energy. Yeah. I created that festival to give independent artists a platform to stand on, and that was in 2013, 2014. Wow. Right? So I was working with musical artists in that capacity. So if I could do that with you all over here, I could do it with people. Yeah. If I could do it with people over in Los Angeles, I could do it with people in New York, Atlanta, New Jersey. Yeah, you got the winning recipe, apparently. That's really it. It's just really, to be honest with you, it's just being yourself. And I know how to, people would say, compartmentalize certain things. Yeah. Because you have to. Right. We live in a world, in a society where your feelings really don't matter. Yeah. Right. That's true. That's true. You better keep moving. I don't have no choice. Right.
So as a founder of such an awesome company and brand, like, how would you define your role in providing support for this community?
How would I define my role?
Would you define it? Or would you just say I wouldn't. You're just there, ever present.
I'm just present. Yeah. As long as the people in my community feel my energy through the brand without seeing me, then that's enough for me. Mm-hmm. When I started Cool Ass Black Woman, I didn't have a face to it until, I want to say, 6 months into it, because I didn't want anybody to know it was me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not because I was hiding behind. Yeah. I just didn't want anybody to judge. I didn't want anybody to come and give their opinion on something that only me and God had a conversation about, which I just told you, you know, like, so I've done things to the capacity of like female-led brunches. Yeah, I've done conferences for young girls. I've done a tour around the United States. Wow. For Black women with Cool Ass Black Women.
This is amazing.
Thank you. And I went and incorporated the brand into Clark Atlanta. So it's innate. It's just in me, and I'm, like you said, the formula is in there.
Well, thank you for sharing it, because there are so many people, I think, that will stumble upon kind of like the winning secret and kind of hoard it and keep it to themselves, So I think that it's really noble work that you're doing out here in the world. Thank you.
Let me ask you this, though, because I love everything you're doing, and you are taking a chance on yourself. Like, you're like, hey, this is... I'm taking, because ultimately you're doing it for others, but you're doing it for yourself as well, too, because you're taking that chance. Yeah. So what is making you take action? Because I find it really interesting, successful people, which you are, it's that action piece that so many people are sitting at home, they're watching this podcast right now and saying, yo, that's dope, but I don't know. I can't do what Ashley does. Like, how did you take that action? What led you to that?
What said go, basically. Well, that too, right? That too, but being told I was never good enough. Being told that I would never be what I wanted to be. Not being the best, not being the one picked as a kid.
Yeah.
It all starts young, when you're young. Like, right now, my mom is sick. So for me, the best thing that I could do right now is stay focused on the things that I need to.
That's right.
To get through to the next day.
Yeah.
Not the next 2, 5, 6 years.
Right.
The next day. And I worry about the next day and I stay present.
That's such an underrated skill because
it took each time for me to blossom within Cool Ass Black Woman is because I was present. Any other time, and if the brand had been idle, it's because I was not present.
That makes sense.
Right? So in the pivotal moments of the brand is because I've been present, because I had to make sure I paid attention to everything going on.
Right.
Not just the brand.
Right.
My personal well-being. If I'm no good, the brand is no good.
Right.
If I'm no good, this over here is no good.
It trickles down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you that's really what kind of like press the gas. Like, all right, we got to figure this out because you don't have no choice.
Right.
And I look at it that way. I don't have a choice. I mean, I've worked since I was 14. I moved to New York when I was 22, the internship. That's when I got exposed to it. And from there, it was just like, all right, I see that it's possible. If I could see it and I can attain it, okay, well, let me. So.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
So, Miss Ashley, I'm nosy. I'm a Libra. It's in my nature.
I know a lot of yous.
If we were to look at your FYP right now on social media, probably
FYP
for your page.
Oh, okay.
The For You page.
Right.
What would we find you looking at mostly?
Skating videos.
Okay, like roller skating.
Yes, roller skating.
Okay.
All right.
Braiding.
Okay.
Videos. And Aries video. It tickles me with the way people describe Aries.
Aries be like,
it's so funny because I'm like, you're right or you're wrong. Like, that's what you'll find. Like, I'm a skater, so I like to work out. That's the one thing that helps me keep my mind level, to give myself energy to provide for other people.
Yeah.
And I'm working on my backwards skating.
Okay. All right. We're going to have Ashley back for our Skating in LA episode.
And if I'm on the ground doing the butterfly.
That kind of leads me to our next segment, where I ask you a couple of kind of rapid fire questions about the things that may or may not be going on in your life in the city.
Get ready. Put your seatbelts on now. Come on.
Wow.
Don't worry. They're not bad. It's not bad. I promise. How are you healing in LA?
Oh, you said rapid fire. How am I healing? Workout.
Okay.
Hot yoga.
Yeah. I love hot yoga so much. What sights are you seeing in LA?
Ooh, Manhattan Beach, El Segundo, Palos Verdes.
Okay. Where are you living in LA?
The hood. No, I'm just kidding. No, I live in Gardena.
Okay. Lovely, lovely. And what is your favorite THING about LA?
Oh, I had to spell that out myself. I was like,
THI.
I was like, okay.
What is my favorite thing in LA? I'd have to say Leimert Park.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so historical, but it's also a beautiful place.
Absolutely. Do you go to the Juneteenth festival?
Yeah, my dad has an office around the corner from the main, like, Dagnan.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up over there, too.
Shout out to Pops.
Wow.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Black woman experience in the city of Los Angeles. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that we face? And how do you think that we can kind of overcome?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the Black woman experience?
I mean, it could be a variety of things. Being a Black woman, period, is an experience in and of itself. But I think that in the microcosm of Los Angeles specifically, it could be different. You've lived in other places, visited other places. So does it vary from, kind of other places that you've been?
Thank you for explaining it like that.
Yes, of course.
Because it is different.
Yes.
When you say, like, living in different places and then the Black woman experience in LA, how is it? Oh my God, it's completely.
She's like, how much time you got?
Let me say, it is different. And it is different in a great way.
Okay.
Right? Like, I mean, it has its pros, it has its cons, of course, as anything does. But it's cool because the Black women here, we have a vibe. Right? Like, no matter, even though we know each other, we hang out in the same groups, even though we know these people, when we go out of town and you're there, you're gonna link up and you're gonna give the same vibe, the same energy, right? Yeah. So that's the being the woman from LA experience, being that I've created these safe spaces and these events for Black women. It is bringing out if I said the Essence crowd of Black women, would you believe that? Or understand what I was talking about?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. It's like, we see you.
Yeah, like, it's bringing out the Black woman that felt that she didn't have anything else to do or any other place to go. But then, here goes cool ass Black woman events, and now that's, let me go to this event. I'm about to go Black woman.
Yeah.
I'm about to just go be myself. So that's the Black womaning in Los Angeles. Is it difficult? Yes. Because the culture is becoming combined with people from out of town. Yeah. And the lay of the land no longer is the same. The percentage of Black people in California or Los Angeles is low. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and it's the crabs in the barrel mentality. Like, you're gonna find that. And one of the things that I've learned, Black womaning in Atlanta, right, is that they may not really like each other, but they stick together.
Oh, okay.
They're going to do whatever they have to do to get to the finish line. And that is the part that I love the most, because that's kind of the one thing that we're missing here. Some people do it. There are women that are in Los Angeles, from Los Angeles, Inglewood, really, that work together and want to help uplift other Black women. Right. But if all of the women felt and understood that there's so much money and there's so much everything out there, if we just work together and not want to downplay or take somebody else's mans, and we would be great.
There's enough for everybody.
I promise you. There's enough business, there's enough people, there's enough money, there's enough food, there's enough.
More than enough. There's for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, the women in Atlanta, they may not like each other, but they still support each other. I think, honestly, that's kind of like the true definition of sisterhood. Yeah. Sisters may not always get along now, okay? I don't have a sister, so I wouldn't know about that.
Right, me neither, but I have a lot of friends.
Right, so it's just like, you're not always going to agree, you're not always going to, like each other, but you're always going to love each other and want to be there and support. So I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about maybe like some impactful moments that have happened within the cool ass Black woman community?
Impactful, the community?
Yeah.
Or, impactful moments.
It could have been like at an event or anything. Something that just really sticks out in your mind.
So many. So the most impactful moment, right? Was at the Black Joy Parade in 2020.
What is that?
The Black Joy Parade is in Oakland.
Okay.
And it's a huge parade around, like, Black people.
Wow. That sounds lit.
That was the moment.
Ah, wow.
That was the moment. The lady was buying the hat off my head. Like, that, I was sold out of all of my products. And at that moment is when I knew.
That's beautiful. That's so dope. I'm learning so
you
much
are
today.
learning.
Man.
Hopefully someone buys a hat off your head.
I bought the hat on my head. I paid for this hat. What do you mean?
Nah, I paid for that.
Like, wait a minute. It's already been paid for. What do you
It's
mean?
mine.
I've already taken it.
Does the Black Joy Festival, is that something that's still going on?
Yeah, so that year, I believe it was the first year, the Black Joy Parade.
Okay.
It was the first year, and now it is a thriving festival. It's actually one of the events that I feel like that I need to do. Like, I have not done it since the pandemic, but because of school and all those different things going on, I wasn't able to make it there, but I supported it. I tell people about it. I'll post. Like, my biggest fan base is in Oakland.
Okay.
Like, I have a huge fan base here, but, like, they really support cool-ass Black women up there.
LA, we're going to have to change that, okay? She is from here.
Yeah.
They support, and don't get me wrong, the people here, they support. See, what I want to do is I want to show myself and the cool-ass Black woman community how much we support each other here. So I'm trying to figure out what that looks like as far as an event, because I am an event producer.
Okay.
So as far as, like, coming together for that safe space to be like, hey, we just here to have a good time, and it's just like a cookout.
Yeah. Just hanging out and just being.
They do it in the South. Why we can't do it here?
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, come on, let's get some, some crawfish or something.
Right.
Crab legs.
Listen, I tell you what, you have like all these great business ideas, right? You're a producer. Like, that is what you do. So from a business standpoint, like, when you're taking a look at your business structure, business model, okay? Because we're getting down to business, everybody. We got the ideas, but now how are we going to make that money? All right, so when you're looking at it, you're looking at the bottom line. What is sort of, I guess it's process, thoughts, when you're trying to say, we need this event because it's good for the community, but it's going to help us fund some other things as well, too, because I'm sure there's going to be a balance with that. Oh, you see that? She had to take a sip of the water.
Gotta prepare.
Ooh. Well, would you believe me if I told you I am in my incubator stage right now of my business?
Really?
And it's been 5 years. Absolutely.
Yes, I would believe
Because every pivotal point in a business, it marks it at the 5-year mark, right? And as I'm trying to go in and sustain and last the next 5 years, I'm in the process of creating a new strategy. My strategy at the beginning was, put the shirts on people, but originally the Cool Ass Black Women brand was supposed to be a website.
Oh. Look at that. Just kind of
right. So the strategy before was just put it on people. Okay, now that it's on people, now I'm gonna make it a household name. What's the household name? I make it coffee cups, blankets, coasters, photos. Like everything. that's the to get the people understanding. Oh, I seen that before, but you don't remember where. But then boom. When I hit it with the next phase of the strategy, the business model, then now you're like, holy crap! It went from a T-shirt to a.
You're right.
To a whole merch house.
Yeah. So what I learned going into my last semester of my master's is that the bottom line number is everything. Yeah. And as an entrepreneur, the business scales ups and down all the time. Like, there's some good days, there's some bad days, there's some I'm about to go ball out days, and then be some I'm about to couple noodle days. And I'm just being honest. Like these are honest things. Yeah. I'm in the process of really trying to understand the community, because it's not just Black women here, but there's Black women everywhere. Yeah. There's Black women in Europe. There's Black women in Africa. Yeah. So that's the scale, the business model for me is trying to figure out right now, how can I touch the people that have not already been touched? Because the people that have already been touched, they're telling people, but I need to make a bigger boom.
Yeah. Extend that reach just a little bit further than word of mouth. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I want to do it in a way of to where it makes sense. Yeah. Right? And what I've decided to do this year was kind of take a back seat on producing events, because every great thing doesn't happen just off the drop of a dime. Sometimes you got to really sit and think about it and really cultivate and understand what you're doing for the people. And if you have a true supporter in business, you're going to be there if I'm here today or coming back next 2 years or not.
Right.
I'm not gonna be on that long.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that are coming out. Like, for example, like this podcast, I can now, there's more digital content that I can now use versus producing full on content, because the more digital content that you can go back to, that's when you can say, all right, what did she say? Oh, let me rewind that. Okay, let me write that down. If I do perspective, and if I do it this way and I'm present, okay, then I can do this. So it's just something to go back to, really giving people something authentic and tangible.
So when you're going through all this stuff, because I mean, obviously we just met, but I believe you have, just how you talk, a huge heart, a huge passion for what you do. But then there's also the business side, right? And there are a lot of businesses who really want to make money, but is on the hard side, and they end up leaning on that hard side. And a lot of it's because based on our different communities, right? Because a lot of times it's like, hey, come on, we've known each other for a while. You know, can I get a shirt? You know, can you just come through to my spot and do an event? You know what I mean? So how are you navigating that as you're, you know, in this 5-year incubator part of your business life?
Ask that again.
How are you balancing or attacking the basically what a lot happens, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not explaining this correctly. In businesses, most businesses have a tendency to not do as well because they lean more on the heart side than on the business side. Okay. Right? So it's more about like, how are you navigating through that? Do you see it? Do you see yourself being like, oh, it's too much heart, too much business? Like, where do you see that?
So, no, because if you don't know, you don't know, right? What you don't know, you don't know. Right. So the heart comes in to where you see people like Amanda Seales, you know, and I say, you know what, let me just go send that over to her because she needs to know she's a cool-ass Black woman. Oh, she needs to know that people should be listening to her because she is saying something that we need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's me leaning in on the heartstrings, or seeing people that are in, I could be at a school and somebody asked me to come up and speak, I'll bring a box of T-shirts and I'll pass those out. Like I did this men's walk about 2 years ago, and I gave out all my cool ass Black man shirts. So that's when I do balance. Right. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard. Oh, you really gave back.
Like, a little philanthropic.
Right. But then on the business side, where I mostly thrive, and this is the strategy, is I go after brands. I go after people that can support me, the people that need the brand, need cool-ass Black women and the community. Right. Not just because they want to mark off a check in their notebook, but because they really want to support the Black community. Right. Like, that's the business side of it. That's that's how I'm going to make the money. The heart is sometimes I have to give it out. Sometimes I have to, ship it out. There's people I see on the internet that they entertain us every day, but I mean, I'm not perfect every day. I know that I have my down moments. So if I know that I could be inspired by my own brand, let me shoot that over to you, because I know you're doing everything you can to entertain us to get that check because you're getting the follows and the views and the you know what I'm saying? So I balance it out that way. I partner with major corporations, to be honest with you, and just set the business up that way.
See, this is, listen to your answer. This is why I know you are just a straight killer. Because you're talking about the past, like the heart, I got to give T-shirts here, T-shirts here, T-shirts here. And then when you went into the business part, you took that deep breath, you went, and the voice was like, you know what I do on the business side? Like, just straight, like, this is how I'm just attacking you. And I love that because you need those two sides, right? Yeah. To really thrive and be great with it. So absolutely. When you're going through that, all right, so talk about...
You love this, don't you? I love how you're doing all this.
I love this, like, the mind game, the mind play on how... that's phenomenal.
He's happy place right now.
This is like,
I can tell.
So, like, talk about what is your number one challenge today in your growth of your, I'm going to call it conglomerate that you're building?
My biggest challenge? Ass. The word ass.
Oh, I was like... I'm like, I want to say something.
Not shaking to that. No, I'm sorry. But ass is my biggest challenge, and I'll get around it every time.
Yeah.
No matter where it is, no matter where you go, and no matter, I tried to, here's an example, and I laugh at it because I know it's not the end of it, the end of the quest to finding this person. So I tried to go after Abby Phillips because I wanted to do a Cool Ass Black Woman conference here in Los Angeles.
Right.
And at the time, Abby Phillips had just released her maternal documentary about birthing at home.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Uh-huh.
Right? And I was just like, I need that lady.
Yeah.
I need her. And once I went on CNN.com to figure out how to get her, typed it in, and less than like 20 minutes later, the publicist responded, oh no, she's busy at that time, and da-da-da-da-da. You didn't even have enough time to check the calendar. You didn't have enough time to do X, Y, and Z. You saw the word, I would love Abby Phillips to be the speaker at Cool Ass Black Woman. And being from such a notable and prestige business, when you see something like that, it's like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. She's a Black woman, and she's going to always be seen. So I will eventually get to her.
Absolutely.
So like that, like, those are my challenge. That's my biggest challenge. So I always conquer my challenge every time I go after doing anything with Cool Ass Black Woman.
So what is your, do you,
No.
or what is your
I don't know.
self-talk, affirmations, words that you are feeding yourself every day to get all of this stuff going?
You have no
hyping
choice.
yourself? Yeah.
You have no choice.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You have no choice. You got to get up and do it. Who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
I have a saying that I actually wrote it's been on my mirror for years. I refuse to sink. I refuse to sink. On my body, she flies with her own wings.
I like that.
Okay.
Faith, fearless.
Right.
These are the things that my self-talk, like, I may not do it every day. And sometimes you got to take a break.
Yeah.
You know, but I do know that getting up every day and I refuse to sink, or I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
Not some things.
All things.
That's right.
All of them.
That's how I have to do it. That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So those are my affirmations and what I do to inspire myself, to be honest.
Refuse to sink.
I love that.
I refuse to sink.
I want that on my shirt.
Yeah. All right, Ashley. What is the advice that you would give others who want to be as freaking phenomenal as you?
Go to bed early.
And that
What's early for you? Like, what's early?
Going to bed about 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
No, that's not the advice,
I mean, go to bed. Go to bed, everybody. Go to bed 9 to 10. Stop being out at midnight.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, like,
go on about yourself.
do it. All right, now that you
Okay.
have... there's more. Oh, there's more. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the going to bed was a joke.
I was like, I'm going to bed early. All right.
No.
I was like, if that's all I got to do, I got to go to bed
No,
early.
my advice is to stick with it. I mean, it's very cliche. Stick with it. It's always gonna feel like you're failing, you're sinking. I mean, regardless, no matter what you tell yourself, it's always gonna feel like something completely different.
Yeah.
Just keep going. That's just it. And go to bed early.
Go to bed early.
Do all that and go to bed early.
go to bed
Absolutely.
All right, so where can people find you? Where can they feed their soul?
Yes.
Take a look at your merchandise and join the cause.
I was just about to say Donatello's house, but but you can find me. You can find me at coolassblackwoman.com. Instagram at coolassblackwoman. Everything is spelled properly. Everything is spelled the same. You can find me on Twitter, coolasswhoa, number 1. And I mean, I'm on LinkedIn as well. So under Ashley Glaspie.
All right, well, make sure you hit her up on all the different networks, DM her, talk to her, get some good advice, and support her cause. And while you're doing that, head over to YouTube. Join us at Native Collective. You'll find all our videos, all our amazing faces. And then what I want you to do, after you go through YouTube and you scroll, all that stuff, then you're going to go to Instagram. And you're going to go to @TheNativeLA. Click follow. I don't know if we'll follow back. I don't handle that account. But I do know that your life will change once you continue to follow us in this amazing podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. For E from Inglewood, and I'm H from LA. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.
You are now tuned into Native Collective.
Woo! interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was so good.
Thank you.
So lovely.
That was so good.
That was good. That was
Thank
great.
you.
That was so good. Because I'm so intrigued by when people take action. Because there's
thank
so
you.
many more people who don't.
Yes.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
listening to like hear what people do is for me. I'm like,
Native Collective.
Hi, everybody. This is Ashley from Cool Ass Black Woman, and you're watching Ing in LA.